I don't get the hype of using Obsidian. It's just a collection of markdown files. It's just a fancy markdown file reader. I don't know why people are making such a big deal. You hear this a lot on the internet, right? This actually sums it up really, really well, where people are thinking the hype is way up here and the actual usefulness is like way down here. So in this video, as an Obsidian user, I'm going to share like how I use it, like why, you know what I mean? This isn't going to be like a 5 benefits to using Obsidian video or anything like that. Use it or don't. I just want to show you exactly what the people that are hyping it up are actually doing with it. Not to spoil the whole video, but the short version is Obsidian lets you take your prompts, your workflows, your research, your context in general into any different AI platform of your choice. Okay, so instead of your memories and projects being trapped behind ChatGPT or Claude, you take this one unified vault to whichever AI platform is best suited for you, right? So you can go and work with this in ChatGPT and then take it over to Claude and then over here to Gemini, and it's all the same. You own your memories and your project. The other thing I really like about Obsidian is how easy it is to work in the actual platform itself. Don't know if you know this, but this is my Obsidian vault, this window you've been looking at. So not only do I have all of my context and I can keep track of what I do during the day, I've also got an integrated terminal, I've got the web browser, I've got my Hermes agent, and anything you want to bring into the Obsidian platform you can, up to and including custom plugins you build out for yourself. So not only am I recording my activities and collecting notes and I've got all these memories, I built out a plugin that actually does something for me with all that information. While we're at it, just a quick plug, this entire Obsidian setup, including this plugin, is available through my school community. You can get that through the link in the description, but we'll get back into the rest of it. I'm going to walk you through my Obsidian vault, and I'm not going to make it sound more mystical than it actually is. At the root level, all of the credits were right. It is a bunch of folders and a bunch of markdown files, but the critical part is how it's structured. First things first, I use a human and machine split. I want to make sure that my ideas are my ideas and I don't have any AI paraphrasing or injections into that. Okay, so that is a big thing for me, making sure that my notes are my notes and AI notes are completely separate from that. So in the human side, I've got inbox, which is idea capture, daily notes. These are the big ones, tasks, projects, all this sort of thing. But if you check out my template, the big deal here is the properties at the front. These values are things I actually want to keep track of, and that's what powers this command center plugin right here. So these front matters and tags are actually the exact same thing that make this such a great memory layer for our AI agents, because instead of just like searching through a big old wall of text, the AI agent can look for a tag or a property that we want to look up, so it's not hallucinating context. It's just easier for this to sort out. And this is just the daily notes, right? Like this obviously extends into the different projects or my content research or people or tasks. All that stuff has these front matters as well. So it makes it really, really easy to find and continue working on whatever it is that I'm doing. Moving over to the machine folder, this is just where I put all of my AI like robot outputs, okay? I never want to have to worry about if an idea or a note I had was paraphrased with ChatGPT and like misses what I actually said. So I just make sure that it never happens, okay? AI doesn't get to write into the human folder unless it's like copying what I have written down, and everything else goes in here. So this is where I keep all my AI agents. This is where I keep all my assets, my templates, and skills and workflows. So I can take this folder and bring all of my skills, workflows, and whatnot and bring it into the Codex app, for example, or Claude Code, or Grok, or Gemini, Anti-Gravity, whatever. It's all the same experience and it's all ready to go no matter what platform I'm using. And this is all organized with the agents.md file, which by default is the first thing your LLM will look at when it opens anything in this directory. But instead of having specific agent instructions, what we do here is give it a vault map, give it instructions as to how to use this environment. Okay, so it knows where to pull up the different agents in that workflows folder. It knows where to find the skills, how to use the front matters, how to update the daily notes, how to look through this and get the most out of this environment. So the way you do that, and I'll show you with the Codex desktop app, is you just bring in this vault as a project and it has all of your context going on. So if you see here, we're working in Playground in the Codex desktop app, you click here and you can add your main vault as the project, right? And now we're working in this EMAI vault with all of my context and everything right there. I can check out the file explorer and see that it matches perfectly with what we've got. Human, AIOS, docs, right? Just like this. So I'm working in this folder with the ChatGPT desktop app. It works exactly the same with Claude, with Gemini, with Grok, whatever it is you're using. And there's a lot of benefit to this because these different desktop apps have a lot of features and integrations that are super awesome. And you're going to get all the more out of it because of this agent structure that you're bringing into this platform that you otherwise wouldn't have. I hope it's starting to come together and you can see maybe where this would be beneficial for folks, but we're not done yet. And this is actually what I wanted to show you from the outset because this is where I fell in love with this whole Obsidian thing in the first place. It's actually the Obsidian Vault itself, because it's the most extensible and like modular program I've ever seen, and it can build out exactly the way that you want. I'm going to start with a terminal because that's where we do most of the work anyway, and it makes it really, really easy to work. Okay, so much like you can bring Obsidian to whichever platform you want to work on, you can bring whichever platform you want to work on to Obsidian. I can bring in my Codex CLI, Claude code, Grok build. I built out my own custom harness with the Pi agent, and I use that in here, and they can all talk to each other. How they talk to each other is awesome, but it's a bit of a tangent for today, so I'll make sure to leave a link to that video in the description. Moving on with it though, you can do your terminal down here and have your development environment, your local host or whatever right here. You can split your terminal, Pi harness here. I've got Codex over here. And for example, you could have one agent in your Pi harness working on backend while the other is working on front end, and we could have our host environment right there and just watch it grow. The other super cool thing is, since this terminal is integrated and you've got AI kind of folded into this vault, you can connect it to whichever platform you want. And the benefit there is it can fill in all those daily note front matters for you, right? So YouTube DLP, for example, tracks my YouTube followers and my growth. You can also call out and have other platforms do their thing, and it's just triggered from this terminal as well. Like say Higgsfield, for example, if you want to generate videos or images, sounds, that kind of thing. Another one I'm asked about all the time is NotebookLM. This platform is excellent when it comes to coming up with presentations or slide decks or cool little podcast kind of things, but it's limited to 50 sources. What I do instead is I install the NotebookLM MCP/CLI, and I can run NotebookLM from the terminal, and I use all of the sources available to the agent from my Obsidian vault. The great part about that is at this point in time, most platforms, most services that you would possibly use have adopted this. They've got some form of MCP or CLI that you can integrate with and run directly from the terminal. So it makes life really easy, especially through GitHub, right? Like you just go to the repo and then tell your agent all about it, and then all of a sudden it knows exactly how to use whichever platform that you're connecting to. All of that is really great on its own, but the cherry on top for me is I put that all into one place with a custom Obsidian plugin. I'm not just taking notes or pulling in information. What I'm doing is I'm seeing how all of this works together so I can understand what's actually beneficial for me, and I know the next steps. I keep track of what different actions actually mean towards my follower count, to my wallet, to different things like that. I've also put in content intelligence workflows and all of this stuff. I've got my CRM. This puts it all together so I can actually get something out of all these connections and notes that I'm taking. I'm not just collecting a bunch of information, I'm getting insights from it. This actually fixes the problem with a lot of like PKM systems, in that people collect information and then it just like stays there and doesn't do anything for you. And it's all in the same window, which is nice. I don't really have to leave this screen, right? I've got my Hermes agent here. I've got my calendar. I can pop open a web browser or like different apps and things like that inside this vault. So it's great for ergonomics. I don't have to click around a bunch of places. So that's how I use Obsidian and why I like it so much. You can use it, don't use it, but at least I've done my part to explain the hype. If though you like it and you want this exact Obsidian setup, that's available through the link in the description in my school community. That's also where 3,000 other builders get together to talk about awesome stuff just like this. It's a great place to learn and hang out. Love to see you in there. Thanks for hanging out. If you like this video, YouTube's got another one for you right here. We'll catch you in the next one.